Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Too Good to Be True podcast. I am your host, Pascal Mayala. Today on this podcast, we're gonna talk about the Western Conference Finals. Don't get me wrong, with the Timberwolves and Mavs and the Celtics versus the Pacers. Right now, we got a lot of discussion about the Diddy situation now because remember, if you haven't seen my 2 minute post a video of my thought on the Diddy case, you can look at it on the YouTube on Too Good to Be True podcast channel. You will see it. You will see it in your on eye. But that was a too many clips because I didn't have time to express to go deeper. But before we talk about that, make sure to follow this podcast on any platform, on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Amazon Music, Castbox, Google Podcast Manager, and so on. And if you want to listen to this podcast again, you can listen to on YouTube on Too Good to Be True podcast. Like, subscribe, notification, and leave your comment because your comment mean more important to me, and I want to hear the people's thought and the people's opinion. So let's make this podcast grow, and that also that this podcast can really move forward with your support. Now let's talk about the Diddy case. In case you did not know, Diddy, or as known as Sean Combs, has been in the news lately. On the news as that his former girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, has sued him because of the abusive that he did to her on him during their relationship. On the document, which I did not read, I'll be honest with you people, I did not read. It says that Diddy abused his power to beat her up, make him do sexual thing that she doesn't want, make him drunk, and so on and so forth. For the last couple of months, we saw the FBI trying to look at his house if you have a phone, anything about sex trafficking. You remember a couple of months ago, I did talk about it on the Real Talk about the Diddy case. So you can listen to this with the Shohei Ohtani thing. And I didn't say it on the bonus one. I'm gonna say now that Diddy is in a huge trouble. If we found out more about Diddy, sex trafficking, and other stuff, I think his freedom will be over. His career is over. Now, CNN showed a video of Diddy abusing Cassie in the hotel back in 2016. So what she said on the lawsuit is matched the way that she said it. With the video that you guys are gonna listen, I'm not gonna show it, but maybe I'm gonna show it another time, or maybe not. I think everybody saw it. If you saw it on CNN, it's good. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. I want to play a clip of it, what CNN said. So listen up, people.
You're going to show us the video, but first, give us some context on what we're about to see.
Yes, Jake, this is incredibly disturbing footage, so I do want to warn our viewers, as you did. But as you said, Cassie's lawsuit, which was filed in November of 2023 and then was quickly settled overnight, it did open the floodgates. But in that complaint, Jake, she details an incident that she alleged happened in March of 2016 at a hotel in Los Angeles. She claimed in her lawsuit that she was physically assaulted by Diddy. Now our team in the LA Bureau, we have got our hands on that surveillance footage, and it appears to corroborate Cassie's claims identically. Really, Jake, the lawsuit lines up with exactly what we are seeing. So let's take a look. New surveillance footage obtained exclusively by CNN appears to corroborate some of the allegations of abuse against music mogul Sean Diddy Combs. The video, captured on multiple cameras, shows Combs wearing only a towel, assaulting his then-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, in a hallway at a Los Angeles hotel in March 2016. A lawsuit filed by Ventura in November last year and settled the next day referenced actions that seem to match those seen in this video. There is no audio. According to the complaint, Combs became extremely intoxicated and punched Miss Ventura in the face, giving her a black eye, which, according to the lawsuit, prompted Ventura to try and leave the hotel room. The surveillance video obtained by CNN begins as she enters the hallway. The complaint says, as she exited, Mr. Combs awoke and began screaming at Miss Ventura. He followed her into the hallway of the hotel while yelling at her. The complaint goes on to say he grabbed her and then took glass vases in the hallway and threw them at her. In the surveillance video, Combs can be seen grabbing Ventura and throwing her to the ground. As Ventura lies on the ground, Combs then kicks her twice and attempts to drag her on the floor back to the hotel room. Ventura is seen picking up a hotel phone. Combs seems to walk back to the hotel room, then returns and appears to shove her in a corner. Moments later, he can then be seen throwing an object in her direction. According to Ventura's now settled lawsuit, the pair began dating several years after they met in 2005. They parted ways in 2019. Combs' attorney said the decision to settle was in no way an admission of wrongdoing. Ventura declined to comment on the video, but her attorney told CNN the gut-wrenching video has only further confirmed the disturbing and predatory behavior of Mr. Combs. Words cannot express the courage and fortitude that Miss Ventura has shown in coming forward to bring this to light. The video hasn't been seen publicly before and comes on the heels of a series of civil lawsuits alleging Combs' involvement in sex trafficking and sexual abuse, allegations that Combs has repeatedly denied. Authorities searched Combs' homes in Los Angeles and Miami in April as part of an ongoing federal investigation carried out by a team that specializes in human trafficking crimes. In a December 2023 statement, Combs responded to the claims in some of the lawsuits, saying, "Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged."
So you heard what the CNN said about the Diddy case. And I saw him a video. In that video, it was 2 minutes. I said that if anybody thinks that's funny, and anybody has glorified P. Diddy, you should be ashamed of yourself. You should be somewhere else. I don't want to talk to those people who abuse this woman. I don't want to hear. People who support the domestic violence. We live in a society that people got camera phone around. We live in a society that people I don't know what I'm gonna say, but people are on social media. Like I said, cameras everywhere. The celebrities are not really hiding anymore, and what you saw, people, is an example of rich people get too much money and they can do whatever they want. And what my thought is, what my thought is on this video is like, why did you release it now? Let's change the question. It's why it has been shown now. Why did not I'm not blaming Cassie for that, because Diddy said, maybe Diddy did pay the person who was the camera, who or the property, who owns the hotel in LA, something like that. But why people in this world are silent? Why I do not understand why people who support Diddy, and when I say support, I talk about rappers, celebrities. Why did they not consult him to say, look, Diddy, what you did is wrong. Go ahead, apologize to Cassie like a man, and you move on. And also, why did the video it's been showing right now? I don't know who leaked the video. I'm sure it's not TMZ. Believe me, this is not TMZ. It's the hotel in LA back in 2016. And I feel bad for Cassie. I don't want any woman in this world to feel that men are abusive, or they're evil. There's a lot of men who are very, very, very. They're not evil. Most men are not evil. There's a lot of people in this world who got so much money. They will find a way to abuse other people with their power. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there was a story of Kid Cudi. Kid Cudi, a rapper, also did date Cassie, and the rumors that Diddy burned Kid Cudi's car because he was dating Cassie, which is confirmed by Kid Cudi. There was another moment with the late great Kim Porter trying to do sexual things to her. And I don't know if it's true, but I heard that Kim Porter tried to eat Cassie tampon. Ugh, that's disgusting. The way that he abuses power is very insane and disgusting. Now he cannot run anymore. He cannot run anymore, people. Well, what's the old expression said? Ain't the truth roof. Yep, the truth has been revealed. And now I've seen Puff Daddy apologize a video. So let's hear this apology right now.
Let's go ahead and take a peek.
It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life. But sometimes you gotta do that. I was fucked up. I mean, I hit rock bottom. But I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable.
He hits rock bottom. He hits women.
Really?
He hits crack pipes. There's nothing this guy won't hit. The way he immediately starts this apology video is so fucking phony baloney. It's so difficult to reflect on the dark times, but I've got the strength to do that because I'm built different. So I'm going to reflect on the most painful moments of my life. When it comes to strength, I'm like a Super Saiyan being able to sit down and talk about this. Like, and then he goes on about how, like, it's inexcusable, he's not going to make any excuses. Brother, your whole fucking career is built around making excuses for your abusive behavior and all the really fucked up shit you've done. And you are still constantly doing that. Even if it's not you directly making the excuses, you hire your fucking team of lawyers to do it for you to keep yourself out of jail. This is a guy that should have been locked up for life a long time ago.
I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now.
Turn yourself.
Okay, and I think you can watch the rest. But thanks to the video of Penguin Zero. So thank you for sharing the video on YouTube. You can listen to this guy on YouTube. I'm pretty disgusted what he did in this video. Instead, you apologize to Cassie. You made it about yourself. You made it about yourself. And I said this. He should. I said it on my X, formerly Twitter. I tweeted out this, and you can follow what I said on X, formerly Twitter. I responded. If I can find. I'm gonna look for it. I'm gonna find it. Yes, I said this. His apology is not acceptable in today's society. To beat up a woman, and not only that, he's doing now. Will you have to occasion to say it to her face? Shake my head. That's what I said on my X formerly Twitter. And I could have added more, but I didn't have time to write it because I was busy. I said it best. You made it about yourself. You should apologize to Cassie and other people you have hurt for a long time. I'm pretty much disgusted. And then, sorry. And then Cameron from Dipset had said something on CNN. He appeared on CNN, and I want you guys to listen. Thanks for being. It's a 3-minute video, so I want you guys to listen to this, and I will give my opinion of it.
Here, first, when you saw that video of Diddy, Cassie in that hotel, did you recognize that Sean Combs?
What I want to say, first of all, when I seen the video, everything in the video is egregious. I'm against. I don't support all the charges that's alleged against him. I don't support any of that trafficking, minors, domestic violence. I'm totally against it. So when I seen the video, yeah, I was kind of upset with it. Being that I know him, he's not necessarily a friend, but yeah, I was upset when I seen it. But
did you
as far as
recognize
everything
him?
I just said,
Did you recognize that
I
kind of
wasn't-
anger at all from your
I don't
experiences?
know him like that. What do you mean? Do I be recognized? Did I recognize him? I seen him. What do you mean my experiences? I seen him and I thought it was disgusting. I didn't do a zoom in to see if it was really him or nothing, but he admitted it was him, so yeah, it was him.
What did you think about the apology that he gave in that other video?
Ain't me for this. The apology ain't for me to decide. It's for Cassie. What I think about it don't matter. He ain't do nothing to me. Cassie need to ask Cassie if she accept the apology. I told you how I feel. I said what I said.
I want to play a conversation that you had on your podcast back in September with Mace. Listen.
Yeah.
When you had your record deal, why did you take me to Biggie Smalls and not Bad Boy?
Man, it's almost gonna bring me to tears to say this. I just, being that I saw you as such a good friend, I wanted to put you with somebody I knew with.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. A lot of people ask me that on Instagram,
knew
man.
with Biggie
Don't have me just out
instantly-
here crying and shit, man. I don't want to get
Instantly,
emotional in here, man.
Instantly, I knew Biggie would do right by you.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that? I mean, is there something known in the industry about how Diddy treated his artists?
So I'm going to get some cheeks after this horsepower joint. I'm just going off what Mace said. Mace took me to Biggie. I don't really know Puffers like Mace know Puff. So I appreciate what Mace said. And of course, that's my brother. So if he felt that way, then he felt that way. I can't really tell you how Puff moves or anything like that. Mace may know better than me because he was signed to Puff. I wasn't. But my show does come on at 8 a.m. Eastern on YouTube. It's called It Is What It Is. And y'all make sure y'all check it out. I mean, I might get some more information out of Mace from there. But for me to tell you how Puff act and all that, I don't know. I never was signed to him.
Yeah. What about the industry in general? I mean, so many people have pointed out that Diddy couldn't get away with this stuff if there weren't a lot of people protecting him. Do you think that's the case?
Who the talent agent for this joint? Like, you think I'll be sitting around watching what Diddy do and all this? I didn't know this was a Diddy joint that y'all invited me to. Yo, who booked me for this joint?
All right.
Wow, and I don't be sitting
Cameron,
around watching Diddy and all that. Yeah,
thanks.
man, come on, man. That's
Thanks for
crazy.
joining us. Thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you for having me. You enjoy.
You heard what Cameron said. I will tell you something. I mean, the way I look at it, this video now, he should be ashamed of himself. I mean, Cameron, you should be ashamed of yourself on showing up on CNN and the way you said on CNN about the Diddy situation is it's pretty much I'm ashamed of him. He should be embarrassed. I mean, what a sore loser that Cameron did, because it was I mean, it was a disaster. One Twitter, ex from Twitter said that so Cameron went on CNN tonight and it was an absolute disaster. And which is true, by the way. It was a disaster. Man, whenever Cameron was drinking, he should. I mean, he should not be on CNN. The way he said it, it was very embarrassing. But what's not embarrassing is what Ryan Clark said about the Diddy situation, and I want you guys to listen to it. So and I want to give my opinion.
And we need to be honest. Like, Sean Combs is a bitch.
Yeah.
Right? And I think the men who are around him and knew he was that, they bitches too. I do have two little girls, and we sort of got into the conversation when he was brought up by Floyd Mayweather, and some of the things he was saying is like, no, if he did those things, he's a monster. If he did those things, he should rot in jail. And it's not to say that he should be in a place to where he could never be forgiven. That's between him and God. That's between him and Cassie. But we can look at that as men and say that some things you don't get to come back from. And the video is so telling, right? Because she's escaping, right? Like, she's not, it's not one of those things where you're in a situation where you could tell somebody, hey, I'm leaving you, or hey, I don't want to be here, and you can walk out and not fear for your life, right? Like, you watch TV shows where people are running from war and running from things that people are trying to kill them, trying to hurt. That's what that woman was doing. Right? And then he pulls her down and he's stumping her. Bro, I'm a grown man who is perfectly fine defending himself. But even if I'm fighting somebody right now that I dislike, I'm not going to fucking stump you on the ground. And it brings into mind like all the other whole shit he's ever done publicly. All the ways that he's used his power. All the ways that he's disrespected people and treated people, and you let him do that because of his power. And now you know that this woman has been living with this for years, and those bruises heal, right? But emotionally, mentally, the trauma that she's experienced, and then to come out after all these years and finally have the courage to say something about it, to do something about it, to in some way try to recoup some of your dignity, in some way try to recoup what he took from you. Now you got to hear everybody in the world doubt that you ever went through those things. Yeah. And when you look at some of the affidavits and read some of the things of the civil cases, you can look at those things and say, you know what? He's just in some way perverted. Mm-hmm. Maybe those things aren't things that broach illegalities. Maybe some of those things aren't things that are immorally wrong. But to beat that woman like that, someone who's clearly scared of you, someone who's clearly in fear, someone who's clearly afraid, and you think that make you a fucking man? And so for me, there is no coming back from it. For me, there is no it's ever going to be okay. For me, all our prayers, all our thoughts should be with that woman. All our thoughts should be with her husband, who in some way is going to have to try to help that woman heal from what the fuck that man did. And I think it's a lesson to all of us that we definitely want people to be innocent until proven guilty. But we have to be fair in the way that we assess it and understand that two people are going through it until we know. And more than anything, a lot of times something has happened to these women. They're going through something, and we have to be fair to them to wait and to at least know that this or that happened before we start calling them liars, before we start defending people just because we have the same melanin in our skin. I will never in any way defend him, vouch for him, give him any sort of grace when it comes to this. He owes that woman, all women, his children, Kim Porter, the past mother of his child, because we've heard shit about this man forever. But to see it like that, to see him stump that girl out, and then want to be in front of people acting like he loved her, acting like he cared about her, when she's walking around in fear, bro. It's one of the more fucked up things I'd ever seen. And he is a bitch to me forever. Period, point blank.
So you heard what Ryan Clark said on the pivot. Everything he said is true. Every single word by word is true. He will not come back from that. I'll tell you what. For any people who said that Puff Daddy will come back from it, no, he will not. He will not. He will not come back from that. And the friend that that he had, they're not going to speak to him anymore. They're hiding somewhere. They're going to run away from him. And to me, Diddy's career is over. And he has to explain that to his kids, to, like you said, to his Kim Porter, the late great Kim Porter's children. What she has, she had 3 daughters, actually 4 daughters. I know she got a baby with the other previous woman, with the other woman. But I'm talking about her twin daughter, her daughters, and to his son. Diddy reputation's over. And I tell Diddy's reputation is over. I don't know what to say now. I don't know what to say. But you know what? You know what's gonna happen? I'm talking about Cassie right now. You know what's gonna happen to Cassie? I know he's married to her husband, and I think the husband will consult her, will protect her, because that's what a husband do. A husband who cares about his wife, who cares about the mother of her two. I believe he had two kids. And I don't know. I don't know what to say right now, because I'm out of word. Right now, I'm out of word. What I saw, and you know what? It's gonna haunt her forever. I don't care what people say. It's gonna haunt her forever, because how Diddy abused her. I feel bad. So my prayers to Cassie and her family, and let's just hope that justice do. I don't know what's gonna happen with Diddy. Let's see. Let it play out, I would say. And only God can judge him now. The word from Tupac right now. Moving on from this Diddy case, let's talk about the NBA Western Conference finals. We saw the Minnesota Timberwolves beat the Denver Nuggets on a comeback win. And in the East, we saw the Pacers beat the Knicks in Madison Square Garden. And now let's try to do the prediction right now. The prediction right now for the NBA. So let's start in the Western Conference. Let's start Dallas versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. For Dallas, the key of the game is play the same way that they did. The way that they played, moving the ball, play a legit defense, and that Luka gonna step up. Kyrie will do their thing, but the bench need to perform. The way that the Dallas Maverick played against OKC was I'll say this, and at the fourth quarter was extraordinary. And what do I expect for them? Like I said, play the same way what you did. Do not slow down. Just continue the way you played. So that's what I'm talking for the Dallas Mavericks. For Timberwolves, like I said, great comeback win. Anthony Edwards was even though he didn't have the great performance, but Cat showed up. Like I said, Cat showed up. Rudy Gobert showed up against Jokic. A great defensive team. That's what we wanted to see. After the last game 3 and 4 and 5. Anthony Edwards stepped up. Even though he didn't have the Monsters game. But they played phenomenal in game 7. Played the same way. Naz Reid, 6th man of the year, showed up. Mike Conley, congratulations to winning your first game 7. Your first game 7. I'm proud of you. And the rest of the on the bench also. I got nothing to say about that. I got nothing to say. You guys were phenomenal. What's my prediction for this one? Remember what I said. Whoever wins the Timberwolves versus the Nuggets going to the NBA Finals. And right now, I do have the Minnesota Timberwolves in 7. I got the Timberwolves in 7. Because it's too much. It's too much for the Dallas Mavericks. Dallas Mavericks. Sorry, my bad. It's too much. And Anthony Edwards is going to show up. He's going to bow out. Same thing for the Mavericks. So I don't think the Maverick will go anywhere. So I got the Timberwolves in 7. Now, in the Eastern Conference, the Indiana Pacers versus the Boston Celtics. Who do I got? So let's start with the Celtics right now. The Celtics took a break after being Cleveland in 5. And now, I believe game 1 is their home turf, right? Yeah. So Jason Tatum needs to be consistent. Same thing for Jaylen Brown. And the rest of the crew, Al Horford going to step up. Al Horford going to step up. Derek White going to step up. Drew Holiday going to step up. Believe me. And Joe Mazzulla need to adjust because the way they play, it's like they're playing one-on-one. Every time I see the Celtics play, because I do get a little cringy when I see how the Celtics play. Right now, they need to play unity instead of individual. So to me, that's what the Celtics need to do. Now for the Pacers, for them, the Pacers, to me, were the surprise team. After acquiring Pascal Siakam, which they needed, they had a phenomenal run. Tyrese Halliburton was the superstar that surprised me. Ever since the what was it? The in season tournament. Right now, the issue is that the rebound. When I say rebound, I talk about the offensive rebound, because if you watch the Knicks series, all those game 7, the Knicks out rebound the Pacers. I don't have the stat with me. Please, I don't have the stat with me. But the way they played right now, they can cause the Boston Celtics problem. And they have to play exactly the same way they did against the Knicks. Because Rick Carlisle, he's a champion. He knows how to coach. Believe me, he knows. And they're going to play exactly the same way what they did against the Knicks. But the rebound has to be consistent. Offense and defense. So who do I got in this series? I do got the Celtics in 6. I got the Celtics in 6. They're going to the finals. But it doesn't mean for the Pacers it's a disappointment. No. They did what they were supposed to do. And I know people will say about the New York Knicks, look, Pascal, but the Knicks got injured. Yes, that's true. But remember, you beat the team that's in front of you. So you got to give the Indiana Pacers credit. So that's my prediction right now. Thank you very much for listening to this podcast. If you love this podcast, follow me on social media, on X, formerly Twitter, at Belly versus PMM. You can follow me on Instagram, Pascal Mayala _ 15. Same thing with Threads. And you can also follow me on Facebook also. So I just wanted to bring that up. So it's Pascal Mayala. So for that, I would say thank you very much. I'll see you next time.